This is the Belkin 20,000 mAh power bank. This is an easy and affordable way to keep your devices topped up with power throughout the day while away from a main power supply. It's not the fastest charging device out there and is not ideal for laptops, but it still has a large capacity. It will definitely and reliably charge up your phones 3, 4, 5 times, and even it can charge up 3 devices at the same time. I decided to buy this Belkin Power Bank because the previous power bank I got, it was a gift from a municipality of my city. It was a really bad quality power bank, so much so that it damaged my previous phone. The battery started to perform worse and worse, and the only thing I could notice that was making that change was that I was using it with that bad power bank. So a good power bank is very important if you want to keep the battery health of your phone or of any of your devices. In my case, I would just use it for my phones, but certainly you can use it as well for cameras when you're away for a trip. For example, I have a friend that took his for a trip, a hiking trip that we did where we didn't have any power outlets close by, and he would just use his power bank all the time to keep the cameras charged up. So this is a 20,000 mAh power bank, and with that amount of mAh power, it can provide about 75 hours of additional battery to an iPhone. That's the time that Belkin tells you it can provide, and I tested the time with my iPhone, which is an iPhone 14, and it did about 73.3 hours, so it was about right. It has both USB-C and USB-A ports, so you can charge multiple devices at once, and it's really compatible with any device that is able to charge via USB power. The power bank also comes with this charging cable, which is the one you use to charge up the device. To charge it up, you just need to connect it here and connect this to a power outlet. When it's fully charged, you will see all the lights turn on. It's daylight, so you probably don't see them very well. But basically these 3 points over here, or 4 points, they will indicate that it's full or not so full. It takes about 1.5 hours to 2 hours to charge it up fully. And again, if you charge it up fully and you don't use it, it keeps the battery inside for a long time. In fact, I haven't used this for a long time and it still has the power that I left it with. It's relatively heavy, so just be mindful about that when you want to take them for trips, because it's going to add some weight. Not so much. Some weight is about 500 grams. And the best thing about it is its price, really, because this is a really good quality power bank and you will get it for less than 40 bucks, which is fantastic, really. It makes it very competitive when you compare it to other really good quality power bank makers like Anker and Ugreen. So it doesn't have the bells and whistles of like super fast charging. That's true. It would take you again like 1.5 hours to 2 hours to fully charge. But hey, that is the price you will pay for having such a great quality power bank. So the design is very utilitarian, as you see here. Has no flashy features like any screen or bolt or metal and glass chassis. It's relatively featureless plastic oblong, although it makes it feel very robust. So in terms of design, there is not much to say other than what you are seeing over here. And the fact that it's so minimalist actually makes it pretty pleasant to carry around. Just because you can put it in your pocket, for example, you can just carry in your backpack with no bells and whistles. Again, as I was saying, I use it mostly to charge my iPhone. So as you see, the way I charge my iPhone is I have this lightning cable with a USB cable over here. I would just connect it here and connect my iPhone, and that's pretty straightforward, really. There is obviously no lightning port over here. Another important point and great thing about this power bank, when comparing it to my previous power bank that was a low quality power bank, is that the charge that it provides to my devices is a really good charge. What I'm trying to say with this is that the charge lasts all day, just as if you were charging it from the power outlet. That was something that worried me, because back with my previous power bank, I would charge it and it would say that it's fully charged, but then the phone would die super fast. And that is when you realize that you have a bad quality power bank that is putting your device battery health at risk. So beware of that. I can assure you that this battery is really high quality. So really, if there are two things that I would say that are not perfect from this power bank, is first its weight, which is 500 grams, as we said before, could be a bit bulky, especially if you're on the move and you are, for example, in a hike. This type of weight can add up quite quickly. And the second thing is that it doesn't provide the super fast charging feature. It takes about an hour and a half to fully charge, but that's something that's not really a big deal if you plan ahead and decide to go to bed while this is charging. It would just take a whole night to fully charge, even less, but I mean, while you are sleeping, the whole night passes. When you wake up, this is fully charged and you will be ready to go. So in that regard, that's not such a big problem. Those two things could be improved, but are not a showstopper for me, at least. I just say it, just in case it would be a showstopper for you, to have the full information. The battery inside lasts a long time if you don't use it. It has 72 hours of battery to provide to any of your devices. For my iPhone, for example, I measured it the other day. It's about 7 times that it can charge it before it fully runs out of battery. And that's pretty good if you ask me, especially when you're going for a trip, again on a hiking trip. That is 7 times of charging. That is a full week that you could go by with this battery, considering that it's fully charged, of course. And the design, I love it, even though it doesn't have any screen that would tell you how much is left. You don't really need that. It only has these 4 LED lights there that provide you the indication of how much more power it has. And most importantly is that it provides a good quality power, that I can sleep relaxed knowing that this battery is not gonna damage the battery health of my iPhone, which actually is totally the contrary to what I intend to do when I buy a battery bank. I want to keep the health of my iPhone. I want to continue using my iPhone for a long time. This battery, if it provides good power, it can be a companion to my iPhone and not actually the reason the iPhone stops working. The 3 USB ports actually are also really good. That's more than enough for what I need. You actually can charge an iPhone with this one, and you can charge 2 Androids with this USB, for example. You can do that. 3 USB ports for this small battery and 3 charges at the same time. That's pretty amazing if you ask me. This of course is because this one is a 20,000 mAh battery, and that's why it can provide 75 hours of battery. That's why it can give my iPhone 7 times full charge. And that's why it can do all the things that I told you it can do, because it's 20,000 mAh. Of course, with 10,000 mAh, it will be a bit different. I would say obviously less, but all in all, if you are worried about not knowing which one to get, just know that Belkin is a great brand. Powerbank wise, it's a great brand. And you could be relaxed knowing that your phones will keep their battery health. Now, deciding on whether to get the 10,000 or 20,000, I would just say go for the 20,000 because the price difference is very little and it can provide a higher output of power for your device. All in all, fantastic Belkin. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments and I'll be happy to answer, as well as provide further videos on this battery. Peace out.